Well, hello again. Seeing that my last video was showing how to make a star, I think it's only fair that I focus today's video on how to mount a star. So today's video is not going to be focused so much on the turning of this compound segmented bowl that you've seen when I did the assembly of the first one. So it's very much the same thing I did when I did the last segmented bowl. I'm going to mount it on my lathe, going to make a recess to accept a base on it. And there are many options on how you would attach that star to it. But I'm going to shape this to the way that I want it to be. Like I said, make a recess, and then I will decide whether if the star is going to be embedded into a solid base or the star is going to be embedded straight in this recess over here, or what I'm going to do. Let's follow along. If you don't know how I mounted this up, make sure you go back and watch my video on a compound segmented bowl that I just did recently. And it will give you a good understanding both how I make the staves, the setup that I got, and how I go about mounting it. Now I got it on the faceplate and it's fairly true. So the first thing I'm going to do is just clean this up a little bit, focus, and see what I get for a recess on it, and true up the outside a little bit. While I'm roughing up the outside, whenever I can, use something up as a live center, it will assure me that I can be a little bit more aggressive and not worry about the possibility of losing my bowl. So I'm going to apply faceplates to it, just in friction, and working there a little bit better than not having this. And I can speed it up that way. Okay, so I got a recess here that looks to be pretty good. I still got a little touch up right on this edge right here. I want to make both these surfaces perfectly square to each other. So I have a nice recess here that will accept my star, and I can have the star as the base, or I can have the star just showing up on the inside. And the star I'm going to use for this is the smaller one. Now I already know, it was accidental, but I already know that this circle right here is pretty much my fit, considering it's not even true. So I will use this as the layout for my the cutout of my star. And the key to this, of course, is getting it perfectly a perfect circle. Now I can do it from this, the very center where everything is intersecting. And there's my star. These little points that are going to be missing, they will be hidden behind this, so I don't have to worry about that. All I have to do is come up and make that recess in there that will fit right in. I'm going to just attach this with friction fit to the face of my bowl and use my bowl as somewhat of a faceplate. See how true I am. And I'm true with that. Slow it down. And go in there and part this off. Not part it, just make a recess for it. I want to check to see how it fits. I got a 32nd of an inch, if that, spacing, and I think that's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm gonna leave it as it is. So put it in place and bring my stars to the center of each one of these white staves. So if there's any inconsistency, which there might be between the star and that, then you don't have to worry about it. But I better get some glue in there. There we go. So, bring my life center back in on the center of this. Apply a little bit of pressure. And this is ready for me to start throwing some of this up. All that, and they reline themselves up with the friction back to the center. I don't want them in the center. I don't want these to meet up with these. Even though they look good, but you can see that it's very easy for them to be slightly off, and I don't want to have anything on this that I'm going to be sorry that I did not do it a different way. Okay. I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure with a faceplate on this. So I'm not applying pressure in the center of the star. Okay, this has been here for an hour or so, and the glue back there is good enough where I can separate this from the faceplate. So tap it, use a party knife, anything like that, and just tap where I applied the glue. So therefore, it's separated from the back a little bit, honey. So that's not going to reach. So I use an extension. Really fine cuts. Well, all I can say is that it's different. Got my bottom of my coin, the stars protrude out, nicely centered in the whole piece. The finish, this maple really has given me a nice finish, as well as the ipe, of course. The bottom is a piece of rosewood that I had. I figured that it would complement everything else. Maybe not just dust. But anyway, that's better. So it's got a nice finish. Oriented the stars to come up in the middle of the staves, in the opposites of the brown. You do that, and you could save yourself some headaches. Because your bowl, when it was done and you drew up the centers, which this one wasn't bad. This one would have worked out pretty well. But if you do that and you have to draw it up the bottom, well, these distances won't necessarily be 100% true. And then if you offset also on the lathe when you chuck it up, and you're taking more from one end than the opposite end, well, then those don't become true. So if you have something that's really symmetric, which the star is, and you try to line it up with these dark brown lines, for instance, well, the odds are against you that these will line up perfect. They will line up the majority of them, but you will have one or two opposite ends that will be just slightly off center. If you're anything like me, that would bother me. You know, I like things that are rugged and jagged and know, not necessarily very refined, but I like those pieces because that's what the wood has to offer. If you are doing something that requires your precision, something with a lid, something with a finial, something that is very dainty, if you want to say that, then when you're doing those, you need the precision, and you don't want the flaws that the wood might have to offer. You don't offer those options. So when it's something that's precise, you take a little bit more care and you build it. And you make it with a little bit more care. You know, I just used any coin right now, but my thought process on adding a signature piece to my bowls is actually, seeing that I'm Portuguese and I have some old Portuguese coins laying around the house. When I don't have any more, I'll probably buy some on eBay, because it's a currency that's no longer being made, which is the escudo. And I am going to be, I keep forgetting to bring them into the shed, but I got a jar with quite a few of them, different values, which have no value whatsoever. But either way, that's what I want to do with the bottom of my pieces. I know I mentioned this a long time ago, and I've used it a few times, just a random coin, but haven't finalized on how I want to use that. And that's the idea behind it. So the first one will have an American coin. After that, it will be a Portuguese coin. So I'm even thinking of, anyway, the whole piece is really, really nice looking piece. I know this video was not going to be centered around this, but I don't know. I wanted to show just how to do the star, but I don't know when to shut up, and you know, and how to make my videos a manageable size with me still saying what I say, because sometimes I don't think I'm talking for nothing, and if I cut it off, then that's what I'm doing. And guys, take care. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like and share with your friends. I think it's worthy that. It's definitely worthy that. Got a little wave on the bottom. Take care. See you very soon.